Hey, so in today's video, like the title says, we're going to be talking about why we planted beans and how beans can be profitable to you when they're done right. So, for those of you who have been kind of following, or those of you who have not been following the channel, if you haven't been following, subscribe, follow. I'm going to be sharing my real life experience as a newbie farmer growing and rearing animals and growing plants. Now, SNCT marketing, we decided to go into farming to diversify our portfolio. So we acquired a bit of land and we've started farming. What we did is we started with the basics. We started with maize, beans, as an experiment. I'm not a farmer by training. I've not done this formally. I've not been educated as a farmer. I'm sorry if I'm moving around a lot, but I'm picking up bean plants that have been left over during the harvesting process. We do things in a bit of a rudimentary way because we're creating jobs and employment. And so one of the things we discovered was the more profitable fruits or vegetables or plants to grow in a rudimentary way, if you wanted to, is beans. So we decided to experiment last season with a mixture of maize and beans, which did well. We got very little beans from it, but we realized our land can actually hold beans. And this season we decided to do it properly. The entire 3 acres of just beans. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see the scope of the land. So this was all beans. And now if you can see right here, the people harvesting the beans have just left them on the ground. We'll move them later, and I'm sorry I keep rotating the screen. I tell you, like, subscribe, motivate me. I buy a proper camera and I hire somebody to move with me while I'm talking. So the reality is there's very little you can do on a 3 acre plot with maize and beans that will be profitable. That's the reality. Let's start there. And if you want to be profitable with farming, you will learn this lesson from this video if you haven't already learned it practically. If you want to be profitable in farming, you must invest more capital. The more capital you invest, the more returns you get. So what I've done is I took the initiative and I bought chemicals. So the first thing you should know is labor costs money. The more you automate, the cheaper it gets. For example, harvesting this 3 acres has cost me let's say about so far 200,000 Uganda shillings. It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money if you're in the West. It's about the exchange rate is 3,750 as of today with the US dollar. But it's a lot when you calculate with the local currency and what you'll actually earn back from the field. Okay? So if you could get a herbicide to help you with the weeding, to reduce weeds, your yields will grow. So that's the first thing. If you want to gain from planting beans, use a herbicide. There's a herbicide, I'll share a picture of it in this video. Somewhere in the top corner or bottom corner, I'll put a video of a picture of the herbicide and I'll leave it there for you to see. I'll also mention it in the description. The name has just left me. I think it's called Potent. If you're in Uganda, you can find Potent. It's a good herbicide. it leaves the beans standing. So that's what we sprayed. Instead of paying people another 400,000 to do the weeding, we sprayed chemical. That cost me only 90,000. Okay, that if you want to be profitable, try by all means to reduce your costs on labor if you're using rudimentary ways like I do. The next thing is theft. One of the first things we did when we bought this land is we demarcated it. I don't know if you can see, there's a full barrier around. I'll go closer to it. There's a full barrier that we planted, or a plant that is used to demarcate land. It keeps neighbors from encroaching on your land and planting even a grain of anything on your land. So that's what I did at first when we purchased this property. Demarcate it. Make sure there's no squabbles between you and your neighbors by demarcating your property. Now, what that has helped me with is reducing theft. People don't just cross the barrier and steal your fresh beans. And then hire trustworthy people. In the beginning, when we first bought the land, I tried to give the work to some boy. He turned out not to be trustworthy. I won't mention his name in case he ever decides to go online. But yeah, hire people who are trustworthy. Now, the guy doing the work for me while I'm away in Kampala is hella trustworthy. So this is what we planted in the beginning. It's I think you all know what this is. It's a hedge. It grows thicker. It's been growing very well, demarcating me from my neighbor. So there's that. Uh, Theft of the fresh beans is very serious. I planted another 2 acres in another place. It was stolen. I'll share the results for you, but that was really bad result. Return on investment, it was stolen terribly. But here, theft is either zero or close to zero. It's insignificant. I'm seeing good returns already. Yesterday we beat some beans because you have to, if you know the system, you have to dry them, and they use a stick to beat them. That's the rudimentary way. I'm looking for somebody to suggest to me a better way than that. If you know a better way that I can utilize, a cost efficient way, hit me up, put it in the comment section. Beating has a lot of waste involved, so I would like to find a way that has less wastage. Yeah, so in short, weeding, use the right chemicals. I spent a lot on chemicals. The liquid fertilizer, the herbicides, the flowering medicine, to make sure that these beans give me the best returns. And now my soil is chock full of nitrogen. And even though I believe I've wasted not more than 25% of the garden is wasted because of the method of harvesting, uh, I'll still get a good return. I'm optimistic. So if you're interested in doing beans, you go for Sergeant. Sorry, not Sergeant. Sergeant is an insecticide. You go for herbicides to reduce your cost on weeding, and you utilize trustworthy employees. That combination will save you a lot of drama. I hope this is helpful. I hope this helps you in your journey, considering what you want to get from your farm. Later, I'll probably do another video where I list all my costs for farming far away from where I actually live. I'll list all my costs and I'll share my profit with you, my actual returns. I think that would be a good indicator for somebody who wants to venture into farming in Uganda. Seriously, Of course, the plan is not to stop with 3 point something acres. It's to expand as you earn, and I hope you also want to do the same. So if you can hear me, hopefully the wind is not too much. Cheers, good luck on your journey. Share what you are planting, share what you're doing. Right now we're doing beans here, harvesting beans. Next season we'll do maize. uh, we also take care of goats and ducks. Subscribe, I'm sharing videos all the time for that. Subscribe. Let's keep the ball rolling. Keep me motivated if you don't mind. Love you. Cheers.